Okay, so I know I said I'll record this video, and I just need to record it. I said that yesterday. I have Tristan in the back seat, so and Trish and Serenity and Jamar are going in the house while I record this video, only because I don't want disturbances. But Tristan sleeps, so I'm like, whatever. He's not gonna be a lot. But this discussion, I gotta take off my glasses for. This discussion has been a long time waiting. Honestly, Ben should have said something, but I don't know why it was held off for so long. I don't know. I was never in fear of speaking about this, and first and foremost, I want to say it has nothing to do with Jamad. Just, because the caption might come off as, oh, you're escaping abuse or something like that. It's not anything like that. But I would say that it's kind of about abuse, but it's not far as me and Jamad. This is about, y'all might know her as Aaliyah or my sister. I barely post pictures of her. Family members, of course, know about her, and a few other people. I won't say any names, but you know who you are, and if you know what I've told you, what she's done to me, and just discussions, or you just know her from being family or friends. This persona she gives off as being a sweet person towards, it might be sweet towards you, but towards me, it's always just been vile and evil. She might be bipolar and go back and forth. And this is the disclaimer. This is not to go with people. This is not to go at people with bipolar. I'm just saying, for example, of the type of person that she is. I really should have told him to let me roll down the window. I'm gonna call him so he can throw me down the keys, because I have Tristan in here and I'm already a little hot. So let me just call him, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. Okay, I'm back. So if you guys hear that, that's just the AC. Let me take off my fanny pack, because this discussion is gonna get real. I don't remember what I was talking about, and I really don't feel like going back to my last video to see what I was talking about, but I would just start off with talking. Sorry, I was eating a snowball, if you see my red teeth or my red mouth. But from the time that I can remember, the first memory my mom told me that Aaliyah had with me, and this might sound dramatic, she, I believe she said she threw something at me, or she hit me when I first was home for 3 days. I don't remember. It was something like that. That's just one memory I have that my mom told me, and I was like really young when she told me, but I don't know why I don't remember it, because I know what exactly happened, but not from myself, but from what my mother told me. Oh God, don't go on nothing. Okay, this is really not a thing to laugh at a situation. I was frankly a mess yesterday because of the last experience I had with her, and mind you, we both live in the same house now, because me and Jamad lost our apartment in St. Louis, so it's been kind of stressful going back here and dealing with this, but I'll get into that. So, the second memory I have with Aaliyah and me, I was always bullied. I didn't, in school, I was basically the popular one that everybody knew, but then at the same time I was bullied. So it just goes back and forth. It's just weird. I've always had weird school experiences. So, I just know how I've always felt suicidal since the age of 7, and this is something that I can talk about. I can openly talk about because this is my experience, and I would love to share with you guys so you guys can see a different side of me. I've always, gone through suicidal thoughts because of the school experiences, just life experiences. So, because of bullying, and I just got so sick of it. My other experience with Aaliyah is that she, when I was younger, my mom and Mike and my aunt Carlotta and one of her boyfriends, I don't really remember at the time because they used to go to this place a lot. Or she might have just been not seeing anybody. That's not I don't know. That's not the point of this. When they would go, it would just be me and Aaliyah, and Aaliyah was a child that Aaliyah used to get bullied too, actually. She used to get bullied because of her lip being bigger than her top lip. And I remember she would cry about that and stuff like that, or get angry. I don't really remember her fighting them, but that's just what I remember. And I might have to hold the phone just in case it gets too hot, because I can barely see myself now. But that's one thing I frankly remember. And I would feel bad for her because I would be like, well, maybe we're in the same boat, since I get bullied and you get bullied. And she used to get bullied for her weight because she was plus size. I wouldn't say she was wearing a large, I don't remember, but I remember she was a lot bigger than what she is now. But I won't say she was like this type or something. I don't know. I don't want to give that a type. Not to discredit anybody's feelings on weight issues or anything, but she used to get bullied. I used to think we were in the same boat, but over time I found out it wasn't. Aaliyah used to, just mess with me, or she didn't start messing with me really until I turned 10. When I was in elementary school, I remember I was like, I think Mike was there. I don't remember if they were at Magooby's or whatever. It might have just been, it's like a comedy place in Baltimore. I don't know if that place is still open, but it might have been I think it was probably Mike home, or my mom that was at work, or something like that. I just remember my mom not being there, so that's why I mentioned Magooby's. Aaliyah, she was messing with me, and she kept playing with me like not how I wanted her to. And she was just being rough, and I was the child that stayed to myself. I didn't really have friends, so I didn't mind staying to myself, and just playing in the room, playing with my brats. I can admit that. I was a geek with my brats. But with her, she would she sat on my face, and I remember I could not breathe for the life of me. I literally felt like I was gonna pass out and die. Like, I was just like, why is she doing this to me? I was crying and stuff, and I hit on her, and then I cried and left the room, and we shared the room. It was like a 2-bedroom apartment. My mom got the other room, and me and Aaliyah had to share a room. Me and Aaliyah shared the room until my mom got this place in 2012 or 2013. What happened? So, that was my second traumatic. Well, that was my first traumatic incident I had with her. And over time, it just got worse. When she would get around her friends, and they would like casually come to the house, she would act different. And I noticed that she wouldn't treat me the same as when she's at when her friends are here versus when they weren't there. She did act in a way fake or phony. She would get smart, just acting weird and stuff, and I would just be like, whatever. I would be annoyed of it, but I would never. I don't remember if I ever argued, but I would just going back, I wouldn't argue because I just wanted to stay to myself, and I wasn't I wasn't used to it, so I didn't get angry or nothing. I just got annoyed and I would just walk away, or I would just stay in there and just play it off, because you know, even though I'm a loner, I still like the company. It's just crazy. I waited so long to talk about this, and I just some things I don't know what to say, and then I try to go back in my memory. Other memories I had with Aaliyah, you know, I just can't wait to get to the place we are now so that you guys can fully understand everything. Because these are just short, timid things. Aaliyah started acting different when she actually started dating her first boyfriend. I mean, y'all never gonna meet him. His name is Paris. She started acting different, and I'm not gonna blame him because I feel like he's a good guy. I don't know what they've been through together. I just saw it as, you know, like when they broke up. That's when Aaliyah really started changing. She would throw shade every now and then, but everything was still great. Aaliyah, she started acting different ever since they broke up, you know. And then she got pregnant with my nephew Samaj, and you know, let me see. And don't get me wrong, I've always told my mother, and this is no bashing her, I've always told her about these instances, and nothing really been done about that. I don't really remember any talks or anything. It was just we talked about things. Like, you know, I told her my feelings and stuff. Sometimes she would brush it off, or sometimes she just didn't want to hear it. It was a few instances here where, like, I don't even remember this, but somehow I got thrown into the mix. Me and Aaliyah, I'm not going to say me and Aaliyah. Of course, I have said, you know, some wrong things to her. I've called her the B word. I could say it. This is a grown conversation. I've called her a bitch. I've said I hate you. I've said fuck you. I'm not the type to cuss in front of adults unless I'm really mad. So for me to cuss in front of my mom, even though we're all grown in the house, I still don't care. Even if adults say that, yeah, you can cuss in front of me, I'm not the type to want to, you know, be like, oh, okay, bitch. You know, I might cuss on here, but, you know, that's because I'm looking at it like I'm just telling my everyday life, so I'm not going to fake it. But I just don't feel comfortable cussing in front of adults or just doing stuff. But Aaliyah's the type to where she'll, you know, in front of people who she, in front of people who she used to go around daily. I don't think they even have an idea of the type of stuff she does. She'll, you know, I've had experiences where she'll tell people, you know, who've come over, she'll tell them how much of a horrible person I am and how mean and disrespectful I am. But when they come around me, they see how genuine I am, and I don't know if that makes them, you know, I don't know if that makes them rethink Aaliyah. I'm gonna tell Jamal to bring him in the house because he's sweating now, and yeah, his little face is. Okay, I'm back. Jamal took him in the house because I did not want my baby sweating. And your baby is so cute. It's just, I love him. Let me get off this subject because this is on to another subject. Okay, so the whole issue is, I don't remember what I was talking about. I need to have better memory, because with pregnancy it sucks. I'm so sorry. Dang it, I don't remember. Basically, okay. Aaliyah's gotten worse, and the last thing I remember saying was after Aaliyah got pregnant, it just got worse. you know, she would say, and no, it was even before them, I believe. So basically, you know, I used to get bullied a lot. This one instance, I was so horrified because I never did anything to anybody. I don't want to talk about that instance, but, and Aaliyah knows this. I got attacked, when I used to go to Montebello. You don't know what that is, don't worry about it. I used to go to Montebello before I went to a few schools, and I was in, I don't remember which grade. It had to have been like 6th, 7th. I think I was in 7th. I was fine, you know. Of course, I had beef with this one girl because, you know, it was something. I mean, I think the girl got mad at me. This one girl got mad at me because of something really small. It was just immature. So, you know, of course, we argued, but me and a girl in the classroom. But this isn't about that girl. I don't remember her name, but I remember she was very tall. I'm 5'2", and this girl is like 6'2" in 7th grade. And the girl, we got into an argument, like a one-time argument, when I was in 6th grade with her. And I'm like, okay, that was just one argument. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'm over it. Just don't talk to her anymore. She decided to still hold on to that grudge. So after school in 7th grade, she decided to attack me. That left me with a brain contusion, and my glasses were broke. So I couldn't wear that, and then I already had a limp from me hurting myself already. So I was already wearing a cast on my leg when that happened. So that just got worse, and we ended up having to get legal help, and she ended up doing community service. And Aaliyah knows all of my school experiences, if not everything, then most of them. So she's very aware of what I went through, because I was still going through suicidal thoughts and feelings, and she knew that. She knew that's a weak spot. So the girl waited till after school, and she decided to sneak me. She decided to pop up on me, you know, when I was walking to the bus stop, and I didn't even know. She just came out of nowhere, and I just felt the bang on my head, and she just kept pushing me and kicking me, and I couldn't see anything because I was like kind of dazed, because I was like, what just hit me on my head? So that was a weird feeling. And the school officials had to come, the principal and the counselor and everybody, and what was it? Mervo was around there, I believe, and because they get out at the same time, like everybody gets out at the same time in Baltimore, and people were around me, you know. When I looked up, people were around me hovering over us, you know, and she ran away before anybody could get to her. So I wasn't really thinking about fighting her, but they just couldn't get a hold of her. And when Aaliyah argued, she would say weak stuff like, remember when them girls tried to bank you at that school? You know, throwing shade about it, you know, and saying, why didn't you, you got all this mouth, but not this mouth for them girls. And it was just irrelevant, because when the girls, they did try to bank me, I had to bring a knife to school because it was over like 20 girls, and I'm just like, where's all this coming from? So that was a weird experience for me, because I didn't even know why they had beef with me, but that happened, and I brought a knife to school to try to protect myself, and I ended up getting suspended because I brought a weapon to school for trying to protect myself. And the girls ended up getting suspended, I believe. I don't really remember, but I didn't care if I got suspended. I just didn't want to be there. It literally got to a point where I had to skip lunch to just go outside and go at the playground around the way, so that, and it's a big school, where Friendship was, I think. And I basically, skip lunch just so, I would avoid them, because that's a big ass cafeteria, and once they found you and they got to you, it's like 20 girls. I'm just gonna avoid that. So Aaliyah would do that, or she'll be like, I should bang you like that girl, who gave you a contusion. And I would just be like, what the, like, what are you doing all of that for? For me, I've never had a person dig with Aaliyah until today. I've never digged at her as much as I could have in the past. And my mother, where she's been at, is, she's always felt like she's been caught in the middle, but for me, I've always seen it as you're just on her side, because I've told people, like, how the situations occurred, and she's just been like, they've just been like, well, even people who I don't know, like her friends, they've been like, what the fuck is she on, because I guess they're not used to her doing that. But I'm a truthful person, so I'll be honest with you and tell you the things that I've did. I've already told you that I've done this. I've called her B. I've called her name. I've slammed her door. I've yelled, just out of frustration, and I'm sick of it. I've had suicidal thoughts because of this girl, and my mother, she's done nothing about it. But if I would have killed myself, I don't know how she would feel. Would she feel defeated? Would she feel like, well, would she blame Aaliyah? Would their relationship be the same? I don't know. Aaliyah, when I was, she's personally attacked me on many levels. She's tried to fight me when I was pregnant with Serenity, and I called my mother up there, and of course my mom doesn't do anything about it. Aaliyah, we've gotten into a lot of arguments. I'm not going to go into every argument, but I'm going to put in a clip of what happened yesterday night after the huge fight that we had. So I'm just going to insert that.